Right, question 4. Question 4. We make a bad debt allowance for 10% of the balance due to debt age concerns. Right, now the debt age concerns are what I was speaking about earlier, that the longer the money is out there, the less likely we are to receive it. We will get into that in more detail later in the course, but for the moment, let's just assume that that's what they have witnessed in the past, and by extension, they have come up with the number 10%. They believe they will miss out on 10%. Of course, it's a high number, but that happens. Right. When we talk about a bad debt, we mean it's a debt that they're not going to receive. So this is what they're doing. They're making a bad debt allowance. Now, we're not going to create the contra accounts or anything so complicated. We're just going to make a straightforward assumption that they're not getting paid this money. Now, so what we're going to do here is, if it is bad debt, well, obviously we know there's going to be an account called bad debt. We don't know where that account goes yet, we haven't quite figured that out, but we will in a second. Now, the other side to this, of course, is if it's a debt that we are owed, well, it naturally refers to the accounts receivable. So because we're talking about, say, 10%, well, we may as well just go directly to it and do 10% of our accounts receivable. There we go. So that's 10% of our accounts receivable is now being deleted from our accounts receivable, as in we do not intend or do not expect to receive that money. Now, the other side to this is because, of course, that this is on the left hand side or the right hand side, sorry. The credit side, the right hand side, we therefore know that it has to balance on the left. So what we're going to do is, we know that in this bad debt account, 20705 4151, and there we go. So we know that it balances. The only thing that concerns us about this now is, where does this actually go, the bad debt account? And if you think about the list of all of the debts that you are going to have, whether it's a cost of sale or whether it's a service cost or a direct cost, or whether we don't get into fixed and variable because they're too general at this point. Realistically, what has happened here is, this is the money that we expected to receive, and this is the money that we are not. This is us accounting for the money that we are not going to receive. But just like the last question we did, it's not the cost of the stock we're writing off here, it's the cost of the sale. So this amount of money then should technically make up part of our sales, because it's going to reduce the value of our sales. But of course, the second thing to this is, I have just put the VAT in here, and we didn't account for VAT in sales before. So that, of course, would mean then that that is wrong. So we know that that VAT has got to go on that side into another account. Where did we account for the VAT for sales before? VAT payable. Simple idea being, if I'm not going to get the money, why would I pay tax on it? And therefore we simply can reduce our VAT for that amount. So this is it. The sales, the bad debt, we write off against the sales, and the VAT we write off against the VAT.